So, this is my very first episode of my new podcast, The Machiavelli Show. And I have my good friend Giorgio here as my first guest.
Good to see you, my good brother.
Good to see you too. Thank you for coming. This is exciting for me, this whole new thing, new office,
Right.
everything. I'm glad that, you're here and you're being a part of this and you're my first guest because we're such good friends.
Right.
And, I look forward to your future.
Right.
But so let's get into why we're here. So, first episode, I got to give you guys a little brief on what's going on. So, my vision for this podcast is to bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and youth entrepreneurs. Or entrepreneurship and youth entrepreneurs. So I feel like there's a huge disconnect today, or in today's society, with like the entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk or Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, those type of entrepreneurs.
Right.
They're so much older, and a lot of the guests are a lot older too. So it's like, I want people that are my age that are actually doing the shit that we're doing.
Like if Mark Zuckerberg could have been interviewed.
While he was actually creating Facebook, like that would have been, that's epic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's the type of stuff that we're looking for. That type of leadership or vision that other people could follow.
Right.
Other people our age that could look up to them and be like, oh wow, they're only such and such age and they're already doing all this amazing stuff. I can do that too.
Right. Right.
So that's the whole point of this podcast. And so for the first podcast, I'm bringing Giorgio on here because he's had some unique experiences as an entrepreneur and as a student. He recently just graduated high school in the past year, which he also started a business in high school, a marketing business, digital marketing, sales, etc. Had some success, had some losses. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but it's important to just highlight that kids in high school, or students in I shouldn't say kids, students in high school are actually doing amazing things, and people don't really know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think you'll have the opportunity as well to bring not only potentially high school graduates, but college students as well that are, working on various ventures. So
of course
we're definitely gonna, as he said, bridge the gap. So
let's get into it. So tell them a little bit about yourself, where you're from.
Originally I'm from Minnesota. I got some roots in Rhode Island, some roots in Boston, but I've been in Delaware now like 5, 6, 7 years, and just, throughout my time here I've met a lot of great people like Mike. I tend to have people asking me, do I actually live here, because I travel a lot. So, but Delaware, 5, 6, 7 years. Probably been here for about like 7 years now. I'm about to leave again.
About to go to North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm about to go to Charlotte.
About to start a whole new chapter in your life, a whole new adventure.
Right.
I'm excited for you, honestly, bro. Like,
yeah,
I think it's going to be good for you because Delaware is small and it is limiting, and it's cold. So North Carolina is a lot warmer. I know.
I'm ready to go to the South.
But there's a lot of opportunities down there.
Yeah. And
Charlotte is one of the biggest, new booming cities.
Right, quote unquote, the new Atlanta.
Yeah. Quote unquote. Exactly. And real estate down there is popping.
Right.
Entrepreneurship, incubators, all types of things are going down in Charlotte.
Big tech down there, I've been hearing.
Big stuff. So it's an exciting city.
Right. Right.
And what are your plans going into that for some of your business? Because, all right, so let's retract a little bit. You had started your business, ProMove, in high school.
Right.
Tell them a little bit about what ProMove is.
ProMove is simply a social media digital marketing company. When I first created it with my first partner, we honestly didn't even know what we were creating. We just knew that we wanted to take control of people who felt disprivileged in the aspect of running their own social media accounts, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We felt us as youth could provide a service, because why not? We get on this thing like every single day. And it took some time for us to figure out what we were doing, just because I've heard a saying where someone said, basically, if you thought it, most likely someone else has thought it as well. So once we got into more research, we actually realized what we were doing was actually called digital marketing. And in that, we had the ability to, or throughout our high school careers, manage various social media
accounts,
platforms for businesses. Our most prominent being a company called EntrePrep. We had the opportunity to run their social media during an entrepreneur camp and just take control of their Instagram, their Facebook, their Twitter in a week span, and just show our potential in that aspect. So we've done a lot of things, but ProMove was good for me.
But I'm glad that it was good to you. And you're starting it up again, right?
Yeah, I'm starting.
You took a break for a little bit.
Right. I took a break from ProMove just because I have a high interest in real estate, and I had an opportunity with real estate this summer, and I wanted to take that to the next level. So I told my partner, like, hey, let's just put this aside. We didn't have a lot of businesses that we were managing and everything, so I'm thinking it's not something I want to do.
Trying to just pursue different passions. See,
right.
While you're young, see what you like, what you don't like.
Right.
It's a smart thing to do.
Right. So this summer, I had a lot of fun, and by the end of the summer, there's no situation where I don't go through a summer where, I'm just doing business or any type of business, and social media marketing just kept coming across my eye, whether it be through some advertising or marketing platform saying this is the new business. Meanwhile, I already have something established. So when I get to Charlotte, it's something that I want to do.
Do you ever think about, what if you stuck with it that whole past year?
Right.
And where you'd be now?
I definitely don't want to think about the past and where I could potentially be. Definitely want to think about the future and where I could be.
Of course, but I'm just saying, to look at it as a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You always have to go back and audit yourself.
Right.
And look at that as, wow, I had X amount of progress in X amount of time while I was doing it.
Right.
And then while I wasn't doing it, how much progress did I make in these other things? And do you think that progress could have been doubled or tripled if you had stayed with it?
I think in the past year that we haven't done ProMove, there probably could have been an obscene amount of success if we put our minds to it.
Mm-hmm.
Considering the fact that we didn't, I wouldn't know.
Of
but
course.
I think
it's all hypothetical.
One thing that I probably would have missed out on or wish that I had in that year off was another stream of income.
Okay.
So in that year, probably the biggest thing that I missed out on was another stream of income. Something else to pay for, whether it be my fund expenses, my potential investment expenses, me not having to work so many hours as I did.
Getting a car.
Right. So
all these little things that add up in life.
So, yeah.
But so let's talk about where you're moving forward with ProMove. Sorry. So now you're going into Charlotte. You had stopped for about a year, you said, right?
Right.
How do you plan on, kicking it back up and changing some things, or like revamping it in a brand new way?
Right. Going into Charlotte, biggest thing for me is probably going to be networking. My ability to get in touch with people who not only are making a change within the city, but potentially can provide me business opportunities when it comes to ProMove. Us being who we are, I think we have the niche of, showing up to certain events, meeting the right people, whether it be at the gym,
A restaurant on the street.
I mean, I can spot. I swear I can spot a leader. Like, it's just an instinct kind of thing.
People all over the place. Like,
right.
Like, literally, all I gotta do is just like, I'm at the counter. I'm like, oh,
right.
I like your shirt.
Right.
And it's a whole other conversation. Then we end up talking about whatever, God knows what.
So,
and we're best friends by the end of the day.
Right. I think I can spot a leader, and even if I can't spot a leader, I'm about to go back to school. So I think my ability to just want to put myself in a position where I'm surrounded by the right people, going through that, a lot of research. I just want to take ProMove in the aspect of not only revamping it in the aspect of our social media and how we push out our content, but I want it to be a situation where the outside public understands that they can entrust us. Because I think the biggest thing with social media marketing is you're putting someone's brand in your hands. Mm-hmm. And I think that comes with a level of like responsibility
and respect and understanding.
Right. And I think that's going to do
vision.
Right, and I think that's going to do a lot for me business-wise when it comes to, like, me in the future having my own employees and just me having that instinct of, can they trust me? What, I've ran someone's entire business profile and what their image is, why can't I? So I think I really want to use ProMove in that aspect when I get to Charlotte, revamping it in that aspect, the way we push out content, the way we're marketing things, how on par we are with the message that we're putting through for any company, different ways to market a company through social media marketing. We're tackling all those type of things. So
that's awesome. Well, I definitely wish you the best with that. And I definitely want to see it grow, because if you need some investors.
Yeah, and that was gonna probably bridge over to probably one of your next questions. What else do I have going on? So Axel Group Developments will be something that will be in the works, and that will be the overheading company.
Well, before we get to any of that stuff, before we get to the the next stuff,
right?
Let's kind of retract a little bit, because you had talked about going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you plan on studying while you're in school?
Okay.
That might help you with this, or are you gonna study something differently that you can use as support,
right,
just in case?
Right.
What are your intentions?
So right now, first I'd just like to say to everyone out there, I took my first semester off. It's turned into probably like a semester and a half, but it's probably like the greatest choice I ever made in the aspect of just taking time off school, being that I hated it so much going towards my senior year and ending it. So I'm about to start school again, and I plan on doing 2 years of business administration at a community college, doing that to not only save money on my mom's end, but it's a smart choice. And I plan on doing the 2 years of business administration, but in my head, I really want to have business going in my hustle to where when that 2 years end, I'm more so thinking of a situation where I'm like, do I want to end my college career here, or do I want to finish the 2 years and transfer to a university?
Mm-hmm.
So right now I just plan on doing 2 years of business administration and hoping that I'm just really active in business, and when I come to that end of the road, we'll find out. Mm-hmm.
That's a solid plan.
Right.
I like it.
Just me being an entrepreneur and understanding like college is not required and you don't need a degree, and the skills that you're trying to develop for yourself daily can be done at the task or simply at your hand or on your Mac or in an office.
I mean, you can learn anything and everything through YouTube.
Right. I probably develop my personality more through being alone by myself than I ever have in school, just doing research through business and fashion and all these other things that interest me and keep my eye glued to the screen or some book.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like I'm kind of like the same way.
Right.
Right, so you're about to finish your business. I mean, you're going to finish your 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Solid plan.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Now, what were some of the struggles that you had while you're in high school building this business that you think might, that you might incur while you're in college as well too? Do you think they're going to be the same type of struggles, or do you think that they're going to be, a little bit different
Right.
since you're older, how
Right.
to handle them differently, or,
Right.
Different situations since you're living in a different place?
Right.
Tell me.
I think entrepreneurship is really glamorized right now in society, and I think Mike can speak as well. When I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, like, there wasn't huge marketing campaigns going on for you to be an entrepreneur. And now entrepreneurship is really projected as like this life of like perfection, and all you do is work. And when all you do is work, you make a lot of money, and when you make a lot of money, you get to travel and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think
you get Gucci T-shirts,
right,
and gold chains,
right. And I don't think enough entrepreneurs talk about their personal life and how it affects them business-wise. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs in our society today are really portrayed as invincible.
They're kind of portrayed as gods.
Right.
Like they have no problems in the world, and they just stay focused 24/7.
Right.
And they never sleep.
Right. Right.
And they do everything right.
Right. So to answer your question, going through high school and trying to be an entrepreneur was a struggle, because
You're trying to portray that image as well too.
Right. And I think for me as youth, being so young, when I figured out I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I kind of fell in love with this whole idea of being perfect, not understanding that I'm going to go through struggles.
Of course. I feel like that's everyone's biggest problem when they first start entrepreneurship. I mean,
Right.
that's everyone's biggest problem when they first start everything.
Right.
Like even if it's going to the gym,
Right.
they fear that they're going to be, that they want to be perfect, but because they're not perfect and they know it's going to take a lot of time to be perfect, or
Mm-hmm.
they know that they're going to fail, it's just like they don't even try, period.
Right.
It's not,
Right. Right.
and that's the exact opposite. You should be ready to fail in pretty much like everything you do.
Yeah.
Because failing teaches you lessons. I mean, don't plan to fail, of course.
Of course.
You
Of
know?
course. You don't want to fail for sure.
Like, you don't just fail on purpose. You always want to give your best and and try hard or whatever.
Yeah.
But when failures occur, you just kind of take it as just a learning lesson.
Yeah.
You take it as like, all right, the fuck did I do wrong?
Right. And I think to answer your question, I went through a lot of failures. I went through relationships with females, and that distracting me. I went through learning what it is to save my money, battling with getting classwork done and coming home and still trying to chase this other lifestyle that I'm trying to create for myself, quote unquote. Being in leaderships and club positions where I'm maintaining this leadership role in this aspect, but I'm still trying to come home and do business, you know? So it's just, in high school it's definitely probably harder. I would imagine that me going into college is probably going to be either easier or harder for me to be in.
Been through it.
Right. It was either going to be easier or harder for me to be an entrepreneur, but I also think that just depends on how much business I'm doing. So, but yeah, at high school.
Also depends on your mindset on it too.
Right.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't.
Right. I don't want a negative mindset for sure. I don't want a negative mindset for sure.
But I believe in you because you're a hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, so you got the work ethic and you've got the brains, the intelligence. So that's, you know, the main key ingredients of the success formula.
Right.
You just gotta put in the work, you know, and you're not scared to do that. I know you're not. Things just take some time. You know you're not scared to do it neither.
Mm-hmm. I think when it's your podcast, but I think a quick question I have for you right now, from what you've seen, what do you think one key to success is that people don't understand that you're going through currently?
I would just say females.
Okay.
And sorry, not females. One female, because I really, really like this girl. You know, tell her I love her and everything.
So let's go with relationships.
Yeah.
I think relationships is definitely something.
But it's just like, women take so much time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they need a lot of time, and they deserve that time.
Right.
Righteously.
Right.
You know, because you're trying to build something with them,
mm-hmm.
trying to include them in everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a lot of time out of the things that you feel like you need to do or feel like you want to do. You know, and as a young entrepreneur, you know, you want or you need to build both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like the older entrepreneurs, because they're all have relationships, they all have kids and wives and everything,
mm-hmm.
they're way past that stage. You know, they talk about all their efforts within the business community, but they have, you know, somewhat steady home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not worrying about...
Perfect, right?
Yeah. Exactly. They're not worrying about perfect for their relationship because, you know, they've been through so much, most likely. You know, I
think Warren Buffett is probably like the happiest. Like,
but
he doesn't seem too angry to me.
I don't know, man. But,
Warren Buffett.
But the relationship stuff, man. Like, yo, females. They just take a lot of time.
I'm sorry. Warren Buffett has to be like so happy, bro. Like he still goes to McDonald's and drinks Coke.
Hey, he's gotta be lonely as hell too.
No. I think the only entrepreneur that I see currently that doesn't look happy when they go home is Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, he seems so angry. Like, his wife isn't... Alright, off topic, but... I'm sorry.
You don't ever hear nothing about his wife and kids.
Nothing at all.
And he's out 24/7.
And he's always screaming. Where is his aggression being let out?
She's either the nicest person ever, or like...
He sleeps on the couch. He sleeps on the couch. I'm telling you, bro. He has to, bro. Like, there's no way he's just that turned up all the time. I don't know what drug you're on,
I
Gary.
seen a video of him the other day. It was like they asked him what drug. They're like, "Yo, he got an elevator. Gary, what drugs are you on? Are you on Adderall?" And he was like, "No, everyone thinks I am, but or cocaine." He was like, "No, I don't."
He's
do
on
any
something.
drugs.
He's on some of that wine. He's on some good wine that he freaking started when in the beginning of his career, because that was when he was a part of.
What's that? That hustle wine?
I just know he was a part of the wine business when he first started his career, so I would imagine that the wine that you're drinking, Gary, is absolutely beautiful, and it's making you a beast out here. Or your wife, as we have stated, isn't doing her job, because you need to turn down, bro.
Or maybe she's just a sweetheart, you know, like if he loves wine, she probably loves wine too. Most wine drinkers, right, well, actually I shouldn't say this because there are some crazy wine drinkers, but most wine drinkers are pretty calm.
Okay. Right.
You know, fancy etiquette, pinky out people.
Right, right. I know my friends are starting to become some wine drinkers, and I don't even get it. Like, I'm talking to them and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a glass of wine after a long day," and I'm just like, okay.
I honestly love wine.
Okay.
Like red, white. I mean, I like white a little bit more than red sometimes, depending on the occasion. You know, but a good red with dinner.
Okay. You know, honestly, I haven't tried wine before.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 20, so technically I'm not allowed to drink wine, but...
True. You know, everyone experiments here and there.
You know, I'll see if I could snip something in when I get out to North Carolina.
There's tons of rich people there. You know, and it's really easy to talk to people when there's a common denominator.
Right.
The common denominator being wine.
Right.
You'd be like, oh,
right.
That's a nice glass of Chardonnay. How was that?
Right.
You know, oh, you're drinking the Merlot? I was going to try that. Tell me. You know, how is it? Oh, by the way, Mike, nice to meet you. What do you do again?
Right.
Fine, sir.
Right.
You from around these parts?
Right.
You know, just fucking bullshit with them. But, I guess we did get a little off topic.
I think it's good for content. I think it's good for content.
But I mean, it's still all about business.
Right. Right.
But so, going forward, let's digress.
Back into
what we were talking about. Going forward now, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because I know you said that you want to do this other venture with real estate as well too. Do you see yourself continuing doing ProMove in the later years, or do you think that it's just something for right now to help lead you more into real estate?
I think ProMove. I don't know where ProMove is gonna go, because I don't feel like that's like my solid.
That's not your passion.
It's not like my solid company, but I do feel for any entrepreneur out there, like social media marketing is a good place for you to step your foot in, just because it allows you to understand from a personal perspective what it is to control a brand. And I feel in this generation right now, you control your brand through social media. You know, what pictures you post, how you're posing, where you're posting, your location. So for you to be able to do that for another brand and understand what that is, that can not only make you more marketable, but it allows you, for when you create your own business, to just have full control. So to answer your question, I think ProMove will always be a part of my business. It may not just have a name though, but I know I'm always going to be controlling someone's I plan to be controlling someone else's social media, Instagram, Facebook, or at least understanding how their brand works. So ProMove is always going to be there, but no, ProMove may not have a brand.
Okay, and then so talk about this other venture that you're trying to.
And Axel Group Developments, long awaited. Basically, this is going to be my stamp in the world per se. Axel Group Developments, it's going to be a real estate investing, corporate venture, conglomerate. I plan to create, manage, and compromise many things under this one name.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what a company is. And right now, that's really the creative direction. The first thing we're going to start with is real estate. So me personally, as a self-brand, I'm going to be venturing off into real estate very actively once I make this move and just take it from there. But right now, like, the sky is the limit, and that's going to be the name on everything. So look out for that for sure. Axel Group Developments, and if it doesn't show up in front of your face, trust me, it's going to be on some skyscraper one day. So
I like it. I like the vision.
yeah.
That's the type of attitude you gotta have.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only attitude to have, pretty much, because just like we said earlier, whether you think you can or you think you can't,
Right.
you're right.
Right.
But so this was a good interview, bro.
Of course.
I appreciate you coming out. I wish you the best in every single thing that you do. You already know I'm gonna come down and visit you in North Carolina.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna film another podcast out
Right.
there too.
And catch up.
You know, and catch up once you've been working on ProMove for a little bit.
Right.
You know, and getting your groove into school and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? We're definitely gonna catch up and do this again. So
of course, bro.
I can't wait
bigger
for that.
and better things.
Yeah.
Bigger and better things.
Exactly.
You know?
I can't wait
Bigger
for
and
it.
better things,
And let's see what the future holds.
Of course. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate you, bro.